What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are inside the black Grand Cherokee because it is freezing outside. It's about to snow, so I wanted to get this thing back up and running. Only issue is we are burning through switches for our radiator fan, and that causes it to overheat. And I don't know if overheating is going to be a huge issue because it's so cold now, but I did actually want to go ahead and get that fixed before we take it off roading in the snow. So that's where this comes in. An 8-gang switch panel from Auxbeam. This should allow us to put our fans on there, any auxiliary lights, which we're going to be putting a ton of those on here actually in the near future. I already have them, just have not got around to installing them. Now, before we get too far into this video, I did want to go over one thing with you guys. As you can see, I have a bunch of boxes behind me, absolutely filled with these 6-inch LED light bars. We're going to be giving some of these away every video from here on out. That includes the light bar itself and the mounting brackets. So to enter this giveaway, it's just 3 easy steps, 3 simple ones, all you got to do. So first of all, you got to like this video. Second, you got to subscribe to the channel. And lastly, you got to go ahead and comment done, followed by what Jeep you're going to be installing this LED light bar on. Now, once you're done those 3 simple steps, you'll be entered to win a 6-inch LED light bar. And we have a ton of these things, so we're going to be picking a couple random people from every single video that we upload to win an LED light bar. So for starters, got this cable tossed over here, and we'll just feed it through the firewall down there. One thing I did notice working on this Jeep versus that Jeep is how much more room I have here since the evap setup is, well, now it's on top of the tank because we did a tank tuck, but originally on that rear fender. This Jeep, I guess, since it's a different year, has the evap set up here in the engine bay, which makes that little gap that we need to feed the wires through really hard to get to. So I'm just going to feed this end down through this hole, and we should be able to reach it on the other side of the firewall inside of the Jeep. All right, so the wire is fed through down there, so let's make sure we can grab it on this side over here. Right up there, as you can see all those wires coming through, is the hole in the firewall that we're looking for. And our cable is right up there, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that and bring it back down. All right, cable's fed through. We got all that set up. Honestly, that's all we got to do on this side, really, besides connect it to the switch panel, and then I have to 3D print that mount. Not going to do that today because that's probably going to take 8 hours to print or something ridiculous. So here is that 3D printed switch panel like mounting here, and so this one has the curved edges I like a lot, but it pretty much flush sits in there with the plate itself and just mounts to the dash. I think this will look really good and be very simple. I might go ahead and customize this and put our logo on the side or something, but let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. I'm gonna start 3D printing this as soon as we're done this install, so hopefully I can install this tomorrow. I'm just going to get this set up, and then we'll go ahead and make sure everything works, and I'll 3D print the part overnight probably, and we'll see another video on installing that. Now this is the tricky part with the updated module they have here, is there's not a ton of room for it on these Grand Cherokees. You almost have to wedge it in here on top of your fuse box, which is also kind of difficult because you have to go into the fuse box with this. So I'm going to tap into this fuse right here, which is the injectors, because that comes on when the car comes on, which means that our switch panel will also turn on at the same time. It shouldn't be running when the entire vehicle's off, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this fuse out. We'll add it to this and then pop it all back in. All right, so that's all put together. Now we just have to hook this up to the battery basically with these 2 cables here. So that's the easiest part out of everything. Before we do that though, I think I'm going to hook up the fan to this fuse box here. Not really sure where I'm going to mount the fuse box. That is best, I guess we'll stick with right here. Issue is this Jeep has a winch. That Jeep does not, so there's a lot less space working on this one. If you guys know a better spot to mount these, let me know in the comments, but kind of so far it's looking like right here might be the most accessible and easy spot to mount this. So I guess that's what we'll go for now, and then if we find a better spot in the future, we'll go ahead and swap it out and change it. I'm gonna go ahead and hook the fan up to one of these switches though. So I got our wires for the fan all ran up into this first slot here. Now we're gonna go ahead and hook this up to the battery, put the cover back on it, and test it out and make sure that the fan turns on. If the fan turns on, that's good, and we'll go ahead and 3D print that setup for the dash. All right, looks like it's working. We just got to figure out which switch powers the fan. Actually, I think it's the first one we tried. Let me go up there and make sure the fan is on. It is. All right, well, that worked out really well. Now we gotta go get the labels for all these buttons and get that one labeled and go ahead and start printing that mounting plate. All right, got that first button labeled. This thing will be so sick for putting all the lights on this because it's gonna get a bunch of LED pods. It's going to get lights off of the back bumper for reverse lights, all kinds of cool stuff. So this will be perfect for that. And I think this will look so sick just sat up there. Obviously the wire is going to be a little bit more hidden than this, but I think that'll be like literally perfect. I should be able to reach it, but it's also not going to be in the way. I also don't know about you guys, but I hate having switches that are accessible by whoever's in the passenger seat. I always just feel like they might hit the switch, and especially with lockers and stuff like that. Now that's not going to be an issue in this Jeep, but that Jeep and the red Jeep, like I'm always just so concerned someone's going to hop in and be like, oh, that'd be funny if I flip the switch, turn the lockers on while you're going down the highway or something. That'd be catastrophic. So I like having the switch panel like more towards driver's side. It's real nice on the regular over here, but I think this will do for now. But that should solve our overheating issue and the fan issue. Plus it's freezing cold outside now, so I don't think we'll have too many overheating issues. It's probably going to snow soon, but that should mean that this thing is ready to daily drive. All right, so the next step is going to be cleaning up all this wiring and all this mess. It should be pretty easy. This is just going to go up at the top of the firewall, and then the rest of the wires basically just tucked down in little gaps. So let's go ahead and do that. All the wires are cleaned up now. Let's go ahead and get rid of this hammer. I need to replace these hood struts pretty soon. I've been waiting to do that for a long time. But now that all the wiring's taken care of, we should be good to go, and this should solve our issue of burning through switches so quick. We're just using cheap switches, so done with this junk, and we'll now upgrade to the Auxbeam 8-gang switch panel. I'm super happy with how this turned out. Now I just got to 3D print that panel up there, and we should be good to go. Now this Jeep should be ready to daily drive throughout the winter, honestly. I think we're good to go. Obviously I have to replace this trim piece. Once that's set up, that'll be all good. And besides that, we should be good. I would like a new radio, but that's definitely not at the top of my list. But that pretty much wraps up this install. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, guys, as you can see, we did not complete the log course. This log also just fell, and it's all like crooked.
I was here last weekend.
Yeah, Austin said wasn't here last weekend. It's basically all the way across the log course. So what I'm gonna try to do is turn passenger and hope this tire bites a little bit and pops us over. If it does, we might be able to get out. If not, we're gonna have to test out our open road winch and hope that works as well.